All right, so this video is for my dads out there. This is for my tech heads who love getting a new iPhone every year, but your wife or your significant other, your spouse, your girlfriend, they kind of side eye you every year, kind of saying you waste the money because you upgrade every single year. In this video, I got a defense for you, and it evolves around how upgrading every single year is actually cheaper than buying insurance for the family on a carrier plan. So for our family, instead of paying $60 to $70 a month for a family plan insurance, we actually upgrade every year, and every year we just always keep one phone as a backup, and that backup phone is theoretically our insurance for the family. So if something goes wrong, we just have that backup phone lock and loaded ready to switch the SIM card or activate the eSIM on a device itself. I personally think, and I've dealt with doing insurance claims, it's definitely less stressful, and I think it's definitely more practical. So yeah, we have Verizon, and we have about 5 lines on our account. So if we wanted to add insurance to our plan, it's $68 a month, which I think is around $800 per year, give or take. You do the math. But in any case, keep in mind, even if something goes wrong with one of the devices gets stolen or someone loses it, you still have to pay a deductible. So just keep in mind you're paying $68 a month, and you're really not getting anything because you still got to pay that deductible. So just kind of keep that in mind. And here's something that you may not realize. If you do have Verizon or maybe any other carriers which may have similar plans, because I think they all kind of use the same insurance company, and you do have 5 lines, and I'm saying 5 lines because that's what I have. You may have six or four, it doesn't matter. But only 3 lines are covered. So you're not even really fully covered, which is kind of crazy, particularly when you're paying $68 a month for insurance and you still have to pay a deductible. I might mention the deductible thing over and over, so I apologize if I do. Um, but yeah, you're not fully covered. I will say this though, if you're filing phone claims for 3 or more devices on your account, you probably have other issues that you want to address on your plan. So every year we upgrade to, well, I guess I upgrade to the newest iPhone, but we don't trade in anything. We just keep the old device as a backup. So if something wrong happens, we have that backup ready to go. So no stress, no having to deal with the insurance company. We can just replace the device fairly quickly. Now, another underrated benefit of this is I call it the hand-me-down game. So every year, everyone kind of can get a new phone. So let's say, for instance, I have an iPhone 17, um, and then the new iPhone 18 comes out. My wife will get my old phone, so she'll have an iPhone 17 from a 16, but she kind of has the 15 right now because she doesn't want to switch, and a 16 right now is our backup. Hopefully, that makes a little bit of sense. But this also kind of aligns with the hand-me-down game, so everyone can get a new device all the time. So a lot of benefits of this system as opposed to just buying that monthly family insurance. All right, so let's do the math. Let's say an iPhone. Well, let's just do the iPhone 17 Pro because that's what I have. On Verizon, it's about $30 a month. So that's $360 a year, if I'm not mistaken. With the family insurance plan, that is $68 a month, which is about $816 a year. If I did the math already, it's $816 a year. I just looked at my screen, but you're paying the $800 for almost nothing. And keep in mind, you still have to pay a deductible. So, from a financial standpoint, upgrading every year is definitely cheaper. Yeah, one thing to keep in mind is, iPhones, they last a really long time. At least in our family, we normally keep these devices for about 5 years. I don't know how long my mother has had her iPhone. I I think she has like an iPhone 11, and it still works. So that's another benefit of keeping the devices and not trading them in. So just kind of keep that in mind, and it kind of lines up with the system of upgrading every year and not going with that insurance family plan. Also, since we're kind of talking about trade-ins, just keep in mind if you do decide to trade in a device, let's say you just got two backup phones, because that can kind of happen. Just keep in mind that with at least for Verizon, I don't know if they changed it, but at least the last couple years, if you do trade in a device, you'll get like a free phone, and they'll kind of credit you each month to make sure that the monthly cost kind of balances itself out and you don't have to pay anything. But a lot of times with those deals, you do have to go with one of their higher tier plans. So just kind of keep that in mind. Trade ins, they do have some attachments associated with it. Now, one thing I was thinking about, and I've been with Verizon for a long time, but if you're new to Verizon and maybe another carrier, you may need to purchase one of the devices on your plan outright so you can kind of have a backup phone from the jump. Otherwise, you may need to just sign up for the insurance for the first year. But I would strongly advise against it. Remember that $860 I mentioned a little bit earlier. You're going to pay the money anyway. Why not pay it for a tangible, a device, as opposed to just paying for the monthly insurance? But yeah, you may want to just purchase one of the devices outright, so you can kind of have that backup device from the jump. So just kind of keep that in mind. It was something I was thinking about. I'm like, what if someone just starts with Verizon? So just kind of keep that in mind. I know there's a lot of different situations that may come about, but that's one I know always happens to different people because families are always switching from one carrier to another carrier. And this is definitely less stressful, when you have to do these claims. And I didn't mention this, at least in my situation, I don't know if this still happens. When I had to do a insurance claim with, I think the company was called Assurion. I'm not sure if they're still the insurance company that Verizon deals with because I haven't had insurance in a long time. But I didn't get a new device, which, was definitely stressful because the device wasn't working properly. The battery health wasn't 100%. So it's just a lot of stress associated with, uh, dealing with following the claim with the insurance company. Now, keep in mind, if you do have a backup phone, the battery won't be 100% as well, but at least you know where that device has been. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's less stress if you upgrade every year, and your girlfriend or your wife, she won't give you that side eye about why is he always upgrading every year. Now, I just kind of want to give you a disclaimer real quick. If, members in your family are constantly, breaking phones or losing phones or treating phones like frisbees, insurance might be the best way to go. I would suggest if they are breaking phones all the time, get them, get them a cheap phone, like a cheap phone off of Amazon. You can normally find really cheap old iPhones, refurbished iPhones for really cheap, $200, like an iPhone 10 or just something cheap. In in a lot of cases, the refurbished phones on Amazon will be cheaper than the deductible. So it's a lot going on right there. But again, deductibles and the monthly cost, I don't think it's worth it, in comparison to just upgrading to the latest iPhone every year. So again, next time your girl or someone gives you that side eye, just tell them you're being strategic about this and you're, just trying to keep the family stress free and, keep some additional dollars in your pocket. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys watching. And if you like the content that QCDad is producing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.